Happy New Year, everyone. It seems like every time I open up my phone or my computer, someone is promising me millions in 2025.
Mm.
It's exciting, right? I mean, who wouldn't want to just get rich quick? And well, that's kind of what we're going to be diving into today. We found this YouTube video that breaks down the top 3 investment strategies to make you rich this year. But don't worry, we've got our expert here to help us figure out what's really going on and, what's actually worth paying attention to.
Yeah, these get-rich-quick schemes, they always seem to pop up, especially when we're all looking for a fresh start, like at the beginning of a new year.
Exactly. And this video, it jumps right into their first big promise, cryptocurrency. They're like all aboard the Bitcoin hype train. They even throw out this crazy statistic that, get this, if you invested $1,000 in Bitcoin 10 years ago, you'd be worth $182 million today. I mean,
Yeah, that's a pretty eye-popping number, definitely designed to grab your attention. And it's true that Bitcoin has seen some massive growth. But the thing about cryptocurrency is, it's super volatile. Like, imagine you're on a roller coaster. You might have those exciting highs, but you're also going to have those drops that make your stomach churn.
so maybe not the smooth ride to riches they make it out to be.
Right. And they also talk about this supposed Bitcoin Act that Donald Trump is pushing, implying that it's going to send the price of Bitcoin through the roof. But, when it comes to cryptocurrency and regulations, governments are still trying to figure out how to deal with it all.
So it's not like a sure thing.
No, not at all.
Okay, so maybe not the government-backed gold rush they're suggesting. But they also talk about Bitcoin's limited supply. They compare it to the Mona Lisa. Only one exists, so it's incredibly valuable. Is that a fair comparison?
Well, scarcity can definitely drive up value. Think about it. If everyone wants a limited edition pair of sneakers, the price is going to go way up. And Bitcoin, it does have a limited supply built into its code. But here's the thing. Value is also determined by demand. So if people lose interest in Bitcoin, the price could plummet, no matter how scarce it is.
So it's not as simple as buy Bitcoin, get rich.
Definitely not.
There's more to it than that. It almost feels like they're oversimplifying things to make a quick sale.
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty accurate assessment. There's potential for gains with cryptocurrency, but you really need to understand the risks involved. Do your research, and don't let the hype cloud your judgment.
Great advice. So moving on to their second strategy for 2025, building digital assets. And here's where they start talking about online businesses and content creation. They promise a massive passive income potential.
And this is where we start to see how things are changing when it comes to making money. More and more people are finding ways to generate income online, using their skills and creativity to build businesses or become content creators.
And they use some pretty tempting examples, like young people making $30,000 or $40,000 a month on TikTok just by re-uploading content. They even mentioned making thousands from YouTube channels they haven't touched in months. Does that sound a little too good to be true?
It does. There's definitely potential online, but it's not as simple as just posting some videos and watching the money roll in. They make it seem that easy. But in reality, it takes a lot more than just rehashing old content. You need to know who you're talking to. Create high-quality content that people actually want to see, and understand how the algorithms work on these platforms.
They also make some pretty bold claims about different platforms. Like Instagram doesn't pay creators, and that YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook are the only real options.
I'd say that's a bit of an oversimplification. It's true that some platforms have better ways to make money than others, but things are constantly changing. Instagram, for example, they've been rolling out more and more ways for creators to earn money. And there's a whole world of smaller platforms out there, catering to specific interests and communities.
So it's not as simple as just re-uploading someone else's work and calling it a day. It takes effort, strategy, and a real understanding of how things work online. What do you think? Have you ever tried to build a digital asset? What was your experience? We'd love to hear from you.
One thing that this video kind of glosses over is the ethical side of content creation. They make it seem like it's okay to just copy and paste. Without really talking about originality or intellectual property, it makes you wonder, where is the line between repurposing content strategically and just straight up stealing someone else's work?
That's such a good point. It's like they're turning content creation into this purely transactional thing and forgetting about the creativity and the originality. That's what makes it valuable. It's definitely something worth thinking about. What do you think?
It's a reminder that being ethical is just as important as making money, especially when you're trying to build a career online.
Absolutely. We'll be sure to dig into that more in our next segment. But for now, let's move on to their third and final strategy, investing in the stock market. It's a bit of a surprise. considering they've been all about these new, trendy ways to get rich.
Yeah.
So I guess they're not totally against the old school methods.
It's interesting, right? Maybe it's because they realize that the stock market still has a lot of appeal, even in a world obsessed with getting rich quickly.
Yeah, and they predict that the S&P 500 will go up 20 to 50% in 2025, mainly because of Donald Trump's presidency. Now, I'm no expert, but that seems like a pretty bold prediction, especially if I'm going to be making investment decisions based on it.
Yeah, so think of the stock market as a giant puzzle. The S&P 500, it's like looking at 5 of 10 of the biggest pieces of that puzzle. Those pieces represent large companies that are traded on U.S. stock exchanges. So it gives you a sense of how the overall market is doing.
Okay, so it's like a snapshot of the big players.
Yeah.
But what about the prediction itself? Can we really say that the stock market will do well just because of a specific president?
The stock market is influenced by so many things. Interest rates, global events, like if a major conflict breaks out somewhere, while a president's policies can definitely have an impact on the economy, and that can affect the stock market. It's not usually a direct or predictable connection, so trying to time the market based only on politics is really risky.
So if you're thinking about betting all your savings on a 2025 Trump bump, you might want to think again.
I would definitely be careful. Investing should be about making smart decisions, not gambling based on political predictions. The stock market can be a great way to build wealth, but it takes a long-term perspective and a good strategy.
All right. That's it for part 1 of our deep dive into this get-rich-quick video. We've explored their claims about cryptocurrency, digital assets, and the stock market. And we've seen how they try to oversimplify things and skip over the risks involved. So remember, be critical, do your research, and don't let the hype lead you astray. Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll be diving deeper into the ethics of their advice, questioning their profit over passion philosophy, and exploring what it really means to build true wealth in a world that's obsessed with quick wins. All right, welcome back to our deep dive into this whole get-rich-quick thing. In part 1, we looked at those first 3 strategies from that YouTube video: cryptocurrency, digital assets, and investing in the stock market. And remember how they were all about making millions in 2025, but they kind of glossed over all the hard work and the risks involved.
Yeah, it's like they're showing you this highlight reel. You see the end result, the wealth, the success, but they skip over all the hours of work, the setbacks, all the things that it really takes to get there.
It's like they have this magic formula. But as we started digging deeper, we saw those cracks, those misleading claims.
And those claims, they really play on that desire we all have for easy solutions.
It's a good reminder to be skeptical, especially when someone's promising you quick riches.
Absolutely. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
You know, one thing that really bothered me was their advice on content creation. They were basically telling people to just re-upload content from other platforms.
Yeah.
It just felt wrong.
Yeah, it definitely raises some ethical questions.
It's like they're saying, go steal someone else's work, put a new title on it, and make money. I'm sure you've seen this online. It's so disrespectful to the people who actually created the content.
And most platforms have rules against that kind of thing. You could get banned or even face legal issues.
Yeah, it's not worth the risk. Building a real business online, it takes more than just shortcuts and quick profits. It's about creating something valuable, respecting people's work, and being genuine with your audience.
It's about building something you can be proud of, not just copying what other people have done.
Exactly. And this leads us to another piece of advice from the video that I wasn't sure about. They were really big on starting businesses and then abandoning them quickly, just focusing on making a quick profit.
It's like flipping houses in the digital world: buy low, sell high, move on.
And I get the appeal, but always chasing the next big thing, it just seems like a recipe for burnout.
It's like they're saying profits over passion, which is a bit concerning. Building a business should be about more than just making money.
I agree. It should be about creating something you believe in, something that makes a difference.
Exactly. So this brings up a really important question. Is it even possible to get rich quickly? Or is that just a myth?
That's the million-dollar question. And it's something we'll be exploring in the End of Nights. Part 3 of our deep dive. We'll be talking about the difference between getting rich quick and building real, lasting wealth. So stick around. Okay, so we're back for the final part of our deep dive into getting rich quick. We spent the last 2 parts really picking apart this YouTube video, looking at their claims and their advice, and I think now it's time to ask the big question. Is getting rich quick even real? Or is it just like a fantasy?
I think it's a question that a lot of people have wondered about, probably for as long as there's been money.
Right. We see it everywhere. Lottery tickets, those ads that promise you'll make a fortune online. It's like everyone's looking for that secret shortcut, that magic formula to skip all the hard work.
Yeah, and there are stories of people getting rich quickly, like winning the lottery or inheriting a bunch of money, or even making a lucky investment. But those are the exceptions, not the rule.
It's like when you see those pictures of celebrities on the red carpet. You only see the glamour, the final product. You don't see all the years of work and struggle that got them there.
Exactly. And this video we've been talking about, it makes it seem like getting rich is easy, almost like it happens by accident. But the truth is, most people who build real wealth, they do it through hard work, smart choices, and yeah, maybe a little bit of luck along the way.
So instead of trying to get rich quick, maybe we should be thinking about building wealth over time.
Right. It's about changing your mindset from get rich quick to get rich smart.
What does that actually look like, though?
Well, it starts with developing good financial habits, setting realistic goals, and making decisions based on research and facts, not just hype.
So like diversifying your income, investing in your skills, maybe even starting a side hustle that you're actually passionate about.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of patience. Building wealth takes time.
This whole conversation has really made me think about what wealth really means. It's not just about money, right?
No, it's definitely not. True wealth is about so much more. Your relationships, your health, your purpose.
It's about living a full life.
Exactly. It's about aligning your money goals with your values and creating a life that you truly enjoy.
So, after all this, I think it's safe to say that getting rich quick is more of a fantasy than reality. But that doesn't mean we can't be successful. It just means we need to take a different approach, one that focuses on the long term.
It's about asking yourself why you want wealth and then going after it in a way that feels right for you.
I think that's a great takeaway. So instead of getting caught up in how to get rich quickly, let's focus on why we want wealth and build a life that's truly fulfilling, one that includes financial well-being, personal happiness, and making a positive impact on the world.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We hope it's given you some things to think about and inspired you to create your own path to a life you love.
And remember, stay curious, keep learning, and always be critical of financial advice.